Hi YouTube, it's the 17th of June 2011. I just watched a video about how the government are preparing for if there's a sudden sun flare of some kind and how it could take 8 minutes to get here. Now, I've never really heard of a sun flare getting here in 8 minutes. Maybe over the course of a 24-hour period, or if it's that large, there might be possibilities of it getting here within a few hours, but 8 minutes, please. Jesus Christ. But, you know, see, the sun was supposed to be going into high activity. I've been reading some stuff on it about cycle 24. We're ending now, going into cycle 25, and a lot of people thought that it was going into the high maximum. But there's also this theory about it going into hibernation for 50 years and then starting cycles again, like it did back in the 16 and 1700s at some point. Well, I'm not sure what the sun's doing. I don't know enough about the sun in the sense of been watching it for years to know exactly how it cycles out. But I look at the sun every day. I go to Solar Cycle, and I've shown you Solar Cycle before, or solarham.com it's actually called, which is this web page here, and it shows you just basic information, what's going on. Right, this is what flares are going on. This is the K index. This is the aurora, speed, and the north set pull, and then this is the ACE real-time data, and there's a spacecraft out near the sun, or that measures certain things: density, speed, temperature, and the pull on the north and south pole. Also got links to LASCO, etc. And the global D region absorbent. You can see up here it's red, and down here it's light blue. And you can see this is the frequencies that are degraded and where. And it's because there's protons hitting right now. You've got the radio blackout indicator, so that kind of tells you if this was all one colour, like it does actually happen sometimes. When we had that X-Force flare, it was like multicoloured. It can knock out radio signals and electricity and stuff like that. And there was a case a couple of weeks ago where the solar flare did knock out the sun at the what's it called? The electric field. I was actually away, I was out at the zoo at the time, it was that week. But if I go to the flares here, and what we've had, this is history. As you can see, in January, wasn't too bad. February is when, this is the period where Christchurch in Japan happened. As you can see, this is why. June, we've had 2 M-class flares, and one of these did knock out our electric. Now, if I close Solar Cycle, or Solar Ham, that's a good one to have in your thing, mate, to see what's going on. The other thing is space warnings currently in effect. Now this, you've got the geomagnetic K index down here. As you can see, we've not long had one, and we've had a sudden geomagnetic impulse. Protons here, which is what I was talking about with the radio blackout. You've got different levels. This is on S1, sort of, so we're in storm, if you like. We've had a type 10 centimeters radio event, which by looking at that last chart, you can see that there was some interference with radio. But this updates regularly, and it tells you what's going on. Okay. I'll close that down. And then also we've got the real-time magnetosphere. Now, as you can see, there's no pressure on the Earth right now. This is the north and south pole fluctuation magnetic field. You've got the solar wind speed, the density, which is quite low at the moment, and then you've got the fluctuations. This is kind of, I think it's the, it sort of tells you how this is fingering out. I think it's something to do with the auroras and how the whatever, but you can see that our field isn't under any pressure, and there's no pushing out here, because what happens is, when it hits, it pushes all this shit out here, and this discharges itself through the north and the south poles, which are these points here, the aurora points. Yeah, that point there and that point there. You see there's not particularly anything going on. That's the index of contour. If we go down here, it shows you what it is. These are every 20 minutes. As you can see, there's been pressure, a little bit there, a little bit there. Yeah. You can also go to another page where you can download the actual movie for the day. Let's close that off. The other place is here, Solar IM, and in here you've got loads of different things. That that's also where there's ionic sphere decay in here, etc., etc. It's got all the information you'd ever need. You can see here it goes proton. I said to you on that last page that the S1, S2 thing in here, it is there. That's where the protons are increasing. So if I go back on that, so there's loads of information in here about different things like cosmic rays, because cosmic rays always drop off when sun's more active, because the weather changes, less clouds, more clouds. Anyway, all these things give you good tells you if it goes X-ray, give you good indicators of what's going on. Also, another good thing that's good is this thing here. I've already got it open. If I open this up, you can see up here it counts the days and what's going on. And this is the sun here, and these streams that come out here are coronal holes. Okay. Now, every now and then you get flares. This is the Earth here. As you can see, on the 14th there was a flare, and that flare is taken until the 17th, which is the day to hit. And if you look at the time and then look at when it goes, it's going now, 16th, 17th, you see. And that was quite an intense flare, that one. And as you can see, it's only just catching us slightly. It's not a direct, the edge of it. And if you look here, this is a side view of where we are, and you'll see it come towards us. And here it comes now. See, it's only just caught us. If you look over here, you'll see it pulsing here. There you go. It's caught the edge of us. But this basically is kind of an indication of what's going to go on in the future. So after the 19th, there's nothing else that we can see of yet. But there hasn't been any flares, I don't think, today. I think the flare was on the 14th. So, you know, this is updated accordingly. And then also you've got earthquakes, latest earthquakes in the world in the past 7 days. And if you look, there has been a little bit of solar activity. There's one there. There's nothing for a few days, and then if you look back through solar activity, there's probably a bit there as well, and so on. But today, there's been 3 what's his name ones, which if you go back to latest, where is it? We've had a little bit of activity this morning, so here with a K4 it had an impulse, and there was a little bit of activity this morning here, and then it's died off. So, you know, it's all kind of relevant, but I've never heard of a flare reaching the Earth in 8 minutes. Has anyone else? Because the chances are of that happening, you know, don't get me wrong, our sun does strange things. We can't predict completely what our sun's going to do, but there's no signs of it going into any high activity right now. I don't know, there's sun experts out there. You've got the Solar Watcher, Barcolia, who predicts earthquakes and stuff. It's worth checking him out because he's quite good, to be honest. But yeah, today the sun's under clouds and it's a little bit weird. Apparently it's going to chuck it down with rain later, I don't know. I'm going to go into town and pay some bills and get some money out. Pay bills, God. Yeah, do some shopping. And that's it really, so peace, love and light to all, but there's no, the sun isn't that much of an issue right now, but I suggest to people, look at it, because it's worth looking at. It's quite interesting, to be honest. At least you get a prior warning. Anyway, peace, love and light. Everyone knows that, you know, I'm quite happy to look into a conspiracy and, you know, question things, but the 8-minute flare thing sounds a little bit like knowing, you know, it's like, God, you know, predictive programming. Yeah, it might be a coincidence that Ellen passes by us around the sort of time that 21st of October, I think it's the time in knowing when the end of the world happened. And it's like, okay, that's quite fucking interesting. But it's not really, it's not, it's just, I think it's just a coincidence. But I'm not worried about an X20 flare or anything, an R5 event. I don't, it's, you know, and to be honest with you, oh wow, they've knocked the electric out, great, actually, that would be really good. Because we'd all have to mix, you know. I don't want a cataclysm in the sense of everyone dying and things like that, but it'd be good to have an event where everyone's actually has to stop and think. Can you imagine the whole electric going out on this planet? Yeah, there's people in the world that just carry on as normal because they haven't got electric, but we'd all be like, oh my god, I can't communicate, I can't do anything, I can't watch telly. People would just be like, it would do people good, it would get people maybe go out in the community if you left it off for long enough. It might actually sort the world out a bit, to be honest, so it doesn't panic me. Anyway, yeah, I thought I'd better add that on the end. Peace on.